here on The Takeover on Life FM for your Wednesday night.
And it's time to do this for the first time in 2024.
Wellness Wednesdays on The Takeover, brought to you by station sponsor Kelli K Naturopath. Book your free intro call today at kellik.com.au.
There we go. All right. Kelli K Naturopath joins us on Zoom tonight. Kelli, how are you?
Great. Thank you. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Like a long time ago.
That's crazy. Oh, my goodness.
It is actually really crazy. We were talking about this a little bit off air earlier about how it is already literally, it's the 7th of February, so we're technically 5 weeks exactly into the new year, but it doesn't feel like it. It feels like maybe 2 weeks ago it was New Year's, maybe a week ago.
Yeah, it's crazy, hey. Time flies.
Yeah.
Kelli, tonight
certainly does.
Tonight we're going to be chatting about New Year's resolutions. We're going to be discussing with you whether or not they actually work, what the pros and cons of them are, and why sometimes we struggle to actually keep our New Year's resolutions. So let's start tonight by asking the big question: do they actually work, Kelli?
Well, for most of us, they don't work very well at all. So it's estimated that about 3/4 of the population will make a New Year's resolution, and only about 8% actually achieve those.
Wow.
So they're really, there's really not a high success rate at all. Yes, and interestingly enough, a lot of those New Year's resolutions are health-based. They're usually around exercise or eating better, those types of things as well, which is quite fascinating.
Yeah. It's really an interesting sort of thing, because I think that every year everyone's kind of like, new year, new me, I want to start afresh, I'm going to have a clean slate and just get into my health goals. But it can be really, really tricky. We just thought it might be really good to have a chat about it tonight. So thank you, Kelli, for that. Holly, you've got a question.
Yeah, so with New Year's resolutions, what are some of the pros and cons of kicking them off and trying to do a New Year's resolution?
Well, I think, the new year, like you said, Maz, we're thinking about what the year presents for us, what we want to achieve in the year. And so it can be a good sort of time to kickstart something and get some motivation. And so I don't think, it's all bad and that we should, necessarily stop making New Year's resolutions, but maybe we need to be a bit more mindful of how we make them and what sort of things that we try and achieve. I think, the downside of the whole New Year's resolution thing is that we always think, oh, we'll just wait till the new year.
Yeah.
We'll just wait till the new year to put in some healthy habits and have this all or nothing attitude. And really, we need consistency. We need to be able to put a few things in place and be able to stick with them over time, not just drop everything before Christmas and then try and pick it all back up again in the new year and add to it as well. I think, we can use it to our advantage, but it's not always the best mindset.
Okay. Yeah. Well, let's take a very quick break. We're going to go to a song. We'll check in on the Life Diary. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about New Year's resolutions, but particularly your tips around New Year's resolutions, Kelli. So going forward from the 8th of February onwards to the rest of the year, how we can actually put those resolutions in place, or how we can tweak them, that kind of thing. We're going to do that straight after this.
Griffin with After You for you here on The Takeover on Life FM.
Yes, we are partway through Wellness Wednesday with Kelli K Naturopath. Kelli, welcome back.
Oh, it's good to be back.
So good to have you back on the show. We have had people asking, when is Wellness Wednesday returning? Where is Kelli? What's going on? I was like, don't worry, she'll be back.
That's fantastic.
She'll be back. Tonight we are starting off the year talking about New Year's resolutions, which I guess makes a lot of sense because we are still technically at the very beginning of the year. So the questions that we're going to ask you right now are, to start with, what are some of the reasons that we tend to fail so badly at New Year's resolutions, Kelli?
Well, I think it's probably a little bit different for everyone, but I reckon there's 3 key things that we miss. And one is setting unrealistic goals or unrealistic expectations. The second, I think, is inadequate planning. So we have these grand ideas of how we're going to, the changes we're going to make and the things we're going to do, but we don't actually put a good plan into place to make that happen. And then I think thirdly as well, we really skip a crucial step, which is gathering our support team around us, or our support system. So getting friends and family on board, using professionals if it's appropriate and needed, but trying to have that accountability and support to help you actually put into place what you want to achieve.
Yeah, for sure. Kelli, we just have to very quickly go to a couple of spot breaks, sponsorship messages. Are you okay to stick around and chat with us just after 8 o'clock? We're just running a little bit short on time this hour. All right, let's do that. We will continue the chat straight after this here on Life FM.
Pink and Marshmallow dreaming for you here on the Takeover on Life FM.
I really love that one. It's a great bop.
It's a catchy one.
It is a catchy one. It's a nice way to kick off this second hour of your Wednesday night. And we're also joined on Zoom by the lovely Kelli K, Naturopath. Kelli, how are you tonight?
I am great, thank you.
That is good. We're doing well, thank you. Well, look, I don't know. I speak on behalf of both of us, Holly, but we are feeling a little bit tired.
We are, I think, but that's okay.
It's okay.
We're loving it. We're having a good time.
We are.
Yeah, it's always fun.
It is that time of night.
It is.
Yeah,
yes,
it's true.
It is. Kelli, we are talking tonight about New Year's resolutions, and we ran out of time in the last hour to continue the chat to finish it off. But I just want to ask, what are your tips for either getting back on track with New Year's resolutions? Because we are a few weeks into the new year. We know that a lot of people may have tried a New Year's resolution or maybe 2 or 3 different ones, maybe found that it was more difficult to keep it than they thought. Or maybe, some people are listening to this right now and thinking, actually, you know what, I do want to start a New Year's resolution. And it's not too late. It's not too late to start. What would your tips be, Kelli, for sticking to some healthy habits?
Okay, well, my first tip is to keep it achievable and realistic for you. So none of these grand ideas or huge ideas, something that you know that you're going to be able to achieve. And that might be as simple as, just going for a 10-minute walk 3 times a week, rather than having big ideas and then being really disappointed when you don't meet your goals in that first little bit. And to just start. There's no perfect time to start with health changes. Just do it. Just get them going. I think the second tip I would have is make sure that you find your support crew. So get your friends and family on board, people that you can trust. If you need to engage the help of a practitioner, do that. We know that people are much more successful in achieving their health goals when they are working with a practitioner or a coach or something like that. So that's a really important thing as well. And then thirdly and lastly, I would say know your motivation. Why is it important to you to make these changes? What are you wanting out of it? What are you wanting to achieve? And then write that down and hold on to that to keep you motivated throughout the year when things get hard, so that you can sort of, because you will have dips. There'll be times when you drop the ball a little bit, and that's okay because we're human and life is life.
Yeah.
So it'll help you get through those dips and sort of, get back up and keep going, and pick up where you left off. Yeah. So they would be my 3 key things, I think.
Some great practical tips there, because I think it's so true that we have these grand ideas like I'm going to go to the gym 3 times a week, which for some people isn't an unachievable thing. They might go every day, but for someone who's just recently joined the gym 3 times a week, I am talking about myself here, 3 times a week might be too much to commit to start with. Maybe twice a week. Maybe twice a week is okay, and then I can increase it from there rather than say I'm going to go to the gym 3 or 4 times a week and then only get there once a week and then, as you say, feel disappointed. And then you start to, I think it's that disappointment that then sets in, and then we start to feel bad, and then we end up not wanting to exercise or whatever it is at all. And it's kind of like
right.
it would be better just to do a little bit and make it achievable.
Yeah. So true.
And it's that whole negative bias. We're always more focused on what we're not doing and what we haven't achieved than what we are doing and what we have achieved. So it's really shifting that mindset that something is better than nothing.
Yeah.
And, just, plodding away that way. Small achievable changes.
Yeah, for sure. Kelli, so good to have you back on the air with us tonight. Can I ask, do you have any New Year's resolutions? I didn't ask you if I could ask that, but I'm just wondering if it's not too personal. Yeah.
No, I actually, no, not really. I haven't this year. The last couple of years I started swimming the year before last.
Beautiful. Yeah.
And then last year I wanted to read more. So those things I have achieved, but I haven't really, not this year.
Yeah. What about you, Holly? Do you have any New Year's resolutions?
Most years I do. I remember one year my goal was to not ever watch Home and Away anymore.
Oh!
And I achieved that. But, I was too
So now
obsessed.
you're like completely out of the loop in what's happening on Summer Bay. Like you couldn't watch it now because everything's changed.
Every now and then it comes on TV and I'm like, whoa, who are those
those people?
What is happening? But no, I haven't got any from this year. What about you?
We need to unpack that later, Holly.
We will. Well, another time. What about you though? Do you have any?
Look, I not so much health and well-being goals. I do want to try and go to the gym more often and things like that. But I've actually started a little bit of a personal challenge, which is nothing to do with wellness, really. Although I guess it kind of does because it's a self-care thing. But I'm trying to watch 52 films this year that I've never seen before.
That's right.
And so I'm really challenging myself in a cultural kind of way, I guess, to watch the movies that I've heard are really great, all the classics, the ones that I've just never seen, and actually do that and then talk about it a bit on the show. So I guess that's my New Year's resolution. And so far I'm 8 films in. So I'm feeling pretty good about that because we are technically 5 weeks into the year. So I'm finding it achievable so far. Hopefully it stays that way. But, I think that these goals can be really helpful. So, it's great to have this chat with you tonight, Kelli. Thank you so much. We will catch up with you again in a fortnight for another Wellness Wednesday.
Thanks for having me.